Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, CK Shave and Fragrance. I'm Clay Knight and it's time for another shave. This is a shave that's going to involve a new set that I just got and a new razor that I just got recently. Stuff that I'm pretty excited about. Crosses over into the fragrance realm as well, so this is kind of a all-encompassing video. So if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a straight razor shave, and so I'll start going over kind of the gear that I'm going to be using and just a few things that I kind of wanted to talk about. So the set that I just got from First Line Shave is their seasonal release, Razor Ruby Undead. So Razor Ruby Undead was released last year around Halloween time, and apparently I wasn't involved. I didn't have this set. I was barely wet shaving around this time last year, just dipping my toe. So I wasn't even aware of soap companies like First Line Shave. But from what I've gathered, the scent is based on a famous scent by the House of Roja Dove, and the scent is called Enigma pour Homme. And it's a beautiful fragrance. And my understanding is that last year's version just didn't quite match the real thing. I'm not sure. Some people said, I thought I read somewhere, someone said it was too floral. Something was off about the scent as far as its similarity or closeness to the actual Enigma. That said, a lot of people still liked it, did enjoy the scent. I know people who have several sets of it and like the scent, but he took the feedback, Michael took the feedback from customers and reformulated that scent for this year. So he found a new formulation of the oil, and the fragrance is really close to Enigma. This is a beautiful fragrance. It's warm. It's a little sweet, a little boozy. It's reminiscent of like a boozy Coca-Cola or cola scent. So real quickly, the notes for Enigma are top notes of black pepper, neroli, and bergamot, middle notes of cognac, tobacco, ginger, and jasmine, and the base notes are vanilla, benzoin, and patchouli. So for me, I definitely get a bit of spice, like that black pepper comes through, the tobacco is there for sure, the ginger, the jasmine, I don't pick that up much. It's definitely a blended supporting note. It's adding something to the scent for sure, but it's not like a forward scent that I pick up. The cognac really sings here. So when you get those spices with the cognac and the tobacco, and the vanilla, it comes together. It really does give you sort of a cola, like a rum and coke type vibe. But it's more complex than that. The benzoin gives you a bit of like an incensey undertone. The patchouli gives just a hint of earthiness. This is a beautiful fragrance. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Perfect for fall through winter and even into like early spring. And I mean, if you live somewhere where the evenings are cool and then in the summer you could wear this, good date night scent for sure. This is beautiful. Love it. So that is the soap. I have the matching splash and the matching EDP to go with it. Scent strength on this is strong. I would definitely put this in the top. This is like an 8.5, probably 8.5 to 9 scent strength. I mean, It's powerful. The second I open the tub, it just fills the bathroom up with the scent. And the EDP is no joke. Real strength there. So I think there's still a few sets of this left. There may not be by the time this video comes out. I know it was selling pretty quick, so, and it won't be around again until next year. So if you get a chance to pick this up, I would highly recommend it. First Line Shave makes excellent soaps. The base is great. It has everything you need: slickness, residual slickness, cushion, creaminess, post-shave feel. It all comes together. It's the whole package, and it's really good stuff. The next thing I wanted to talk about is scooping soap. So I scoop my soap. I use this little tool right here, which is a butter knife that has been, modified and renamed a Snurdle Dipper by Glenn Mercurio of Gemstar Razors. He was gracious enough to send me this after I had a razor restored and customized with him, and I've sent him another razor to be honed, and I will again in the future use him for honing and restoration. He's excellent at his craft. He's a really nice guy, and it was just awesome of him to send me this. I like this little tool. It's perfect. I know people use guitar picks and all manner of things to scoop with, spoons, whatever works for you, but I love this thing. So I take a big scoop because I do head and face every day, so it's a big scoop. But something I saw on another video from another YouTuber who goes by the name of Silky Creamy, he was showing how soaps, once they're poured, sometimes some of the ingredients, I don't know if it's oxidation that's happening at the top or exactly what's happening, but there can be layers in the soap of different colors, and I don't really know if that affects the composition of that layer at all as far as how it performs. But I do know this: the layers can have a different texture and consistency. So like one layer can be really, really soft and buttery, and another layer can be a little harder and more solid. So that leads me to believe that there is some separation happening sometimes with some of these ingredients. And so he said he scoops all the way to the bottom of the tub with every scoop in order to get an equal amount of each layer. And it made sense to me, so I started doing that, and it's just something I just wanted to bring up and talk about. It may have no real effect. I don't know, but that's what my scoops look like. And let's see if I can get the light in there. You can kind of see the difference in color between the top and then the layer underneath. It's much lighter underneath, and this top layer is much softer and butterier than the bottom layer. It's more solid, and so when I push it in the bowl, it took more work to push that out, and you got these two colors like peanut butter and chocolate. So just something to be aware of. That said, we'll get into the rest of the shave and what I'm using. Going to be using this Chisel and Hound pearl and black brush with a V11 Fanchurian knot. Beautiful gel tip badger knot that's just an excellent value for the money. These brushes are just beautiful, top-notch brushes. Love it. Like a little hound coin in this one. You can kind of see the shimmer and shine of the pearl. It's a beautiful, beautiful brush. Have my Cayuan Workshop bowl. This is a large. I like the large because I build a lot of lather. You can see I've had this blooming. It smells fantastic. All right, so I'm going to do a face shave with the straight razor. The straight razor I'm going to be using today is one I got recently. It is a custom straight razor by Yuri Kravchenko of the Ukraine. His company is Art Razor, and you can get him on Instagram at Art Razor. It's Art Razor _ something, so you'll have to just put in Art Razor, you'll find him. He's on Facebook, and he makes just phenomenal, super high quality, handmade, razors from start to finish, forges the blades, does the laser etching on them, different finishes, different scales, whatever you want. This one I purchased secondhand from another person who had ordered it, and then ended up getting another one that's bigger, and then he liked a little bit bigger, and so he sold this one. Beautiful razor. So this is the Le Chef with the blackened, like oil blackened blade. So this is not like a mirror polish blade. This blade will resist corrosion a little bit more, with less upkeep and maintenance maybe. These scales are color changing scales. As you can see, the color is starting to change. This is the color when it's cool, and when you touch it or put heat to it, it changes to this beautiful green color. And it's got these metal shavings embedded in the resin, which gives it texture as well as just a really cool pattern. It's just a beautiful blade. This is an 8/8, so the width of this blade is 8/8. That's an inch essentially. It's got some file work, hammer work on the spine, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful razor. So you can see that it's changing colors. Just a very nice razor. So that's what we're using for the shave today. Head shave later will be with the Leaf, loaded with the made in India Wilkinson sword blades. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'll lather this up. I know my last video was kind of a review video, and maybe some people found it boring, and I was obligated to do it because I spoke up when someone was looking for reviewers, and they were gracious enough to send me razor and brush. So if you want to see that review, you can go and check out my videos and check that out. It's not my usual video where I just kind of off the cuff talk about whatever, but today's video is more normal. So I'm going on, I just hit my 6-month anniversary of when I had to move in and take care of my grandma and my aunt. So it's been a long 6 months, and there's no end in sight. But, making the best of it. Got the holidays coming, looking forward to, being able to spend these holidays with my grandma and my aunt, because with their ages and health conditions and things like that, you just never know. This could be the last Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's that I get to spend with them. So I'm gonna cherish those moments as best I can, even though it's tough being away from home and not seeing my wife that much, and missing her, and missing my house and my dogs and my bird and my own bed and all the stuff that I had at home that I was so used to. But I don't know if anybody else is going through any tough situations, but just know that you're not alone, and times get tough for everybody, and we all have to support each other as best we can. I'm always an open ear for anybody who's having a tough time and they need to unload some burdens. Just, you can find me on Facebook and Messenger. You can send me a message through YouTube. Leave me a comment, whatever you're comfortable with. I've been passing the time with trying to eat right, continue my weight loss journey. I finally dropped below 240. I weighed in the other day at 238.5, so that was a nice thing to see on the scale. So it means I'm still moving in the right direction, albeit slowly. I'm eating my vegan diet for the most part, and I do occasionally let myself have a little something that's not vegan, but for the most part it's 99% vegan. Trying to limit my calories, exercise daily, and you know, it's working slowly, but it's working. Been listening to some audio books, a series of books called The Rift War Saga by Raymond Feist, and it's a books that I read when I was young, and so I'm listening to them on audio, which is kind of cool. Lets me, you know, do stuff while I'm around the house doing regular tasks and enjoy the book at the same time. I'm on book 4 already. Great set of books. If you like fantasy genre, check out Raymond Feist. He started writing these books in, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, he might still be writing. I'm not sure. Man, this lather smells really good. So I'm working the brush a little just to kind of really scrub that lather into the whiskers and let it really get a chance to permeate those follicles and soften that hair. So that's that. We're lathered, we're ready to go. Wow, that's a beautiful edge on this razor. So you can see that's just across the grain, and I mean, that took off a lot of the stubble. There's not a whole lot left there. I will do an against the grain pass, but as you can see there's some stubble in that. So I used to rinse my blade after each stroke, but I chipped a blade recently, so I've started wiping my lather off on a towel. So you're gonna see me bend down and do that. You won't hear the water running as much, but that way I don't run the risk of chipping my blade. Tell you right now, this blade is just ridiculously sharp. honed a couple of my own blades, and you know, the edges are good. They're sufficient for shaving. But the first time you get a razor that's been professionally honed and has just that wicked edge on it, you could just feel, it's just so nice. It just glides so nicely over the skin. So I've been experimenting with different techniques for stretching and getting certain areas. This under the jawline is always a problem for me. So I found that if I stretch up, it pulls the skin from down here. You can see where that line is, all the way up on above the jawbone where it's flatter on my cheek. Lets me get that area a little bit better and easier. So that seems to work pretty well for me in that area. But it's all going to come down to your growth and your bone structure, your, you know, face of your, you know, the shape of your face and all of that. How angular is your jaw, your chin. Started with smaller blades, but I've definitely grown to love these larger blades. For some reason, for me, I just find them easier to maintain. The angle. Of course, I don't shave my upper lip, so that's not an issue. That seems to be a big complaint among guys that do shave their upper lip, is that, you know, the larger blades are harder to maneuver around the upper lip area. But for me, it's not a problem, and I find that the larger blades are easier to maintain the angle, and I can really just do a better job. And you know, I like the weight of a heavier, larger blade. Some guys like a light, maneuverable blade. So when it comes to straight razor shaving, you know, just like with DE shaving, there's a lot of different blades, and you got to find what works best for you. Same thing goes for straight razors. You're going to have to figure out what you like best. The only difference I can say is that, you know, as long as you have a quality blade with good, you know, steel that's been treated properly, got a good heat treat on it, and it's going to hold a good edge, you can get a good edge on all those razors. There's different sizes and different grinds that will shave equally well as far as the sharpness for your face and all that, but as far as maintaining angle and just the general feel of the razor, that will vary, and the different grinds, and so you're gonna have to see what you like, what works best for you individually. But, you know, I take it slow, and even then, sometimes you nick yourself a little, so that happens. And that's just, as I was putting the razor to skin, I felt it hit like a little follicle that was sticking up or something, and it just caught it. It's not bad. I get weepers when I shave with the DE, so I'm not upset about it. Getting there. I'm gonna have to hit the cheeks again, but I wanted to do the neck first. I need to do this direction across. My beard grows kind of in general in this direction. There's waves, there's swirls, other things, but as a general rule, my whole beard grows from my left side across towards my right side. So this is a tricky area for me, this right side of my neck. Very sideways growth right here. The concavity of going from my jawline to my neck just makes it very difficult to get a full cross the grain pass. So I just have to remember to keep the pressure light, try to hit it diagonally in a few different directions to get it as smooth as possible. And as long as I keep the pressure light, I can usually do as many passes as I feel are necessary without irritation, which is not something I can say is true of a DE razor. Eventually, after 3 or 4 passes, I just start to feel like I'm shaving my skin off. You know, I'm dang near BBS. I got a little right here that I gotta hit, a little right here, which is pretty normal. But this is going pretty well. 2 tiny weepers, nothing to be really upset about. Soap is performing as expected. Michael's soaps are just top of the line. They're up there with, you know, some of my other favorites: PAA, CK6, Holy Cow, Sierra. You know, just excellent soaps that just perform really, really well. This is a tricky spot for me, so it's hard to figure out, do I want to go with this hand or do I want to kind of try and come this direction? I think this hand is easier, which seems weird to reach all the way across, but to get this angle pretty good. Still not. You know, I'm pretty obsessive about my BBS shaves. It's been hard for me to resist just chasing it, but I am getting my technique better. I take my time, as you can see. This won't be a short video, you know, so if you stick with me through the whole thing, then thank you. I appreciate it. You know, hit the double speed and watch me in double speed. Since I know I kind of move like a turtle when it comes to straight razor shaves, but you know, I like to enjoy it and I don't like to cut myself, so I take my time. That's pretty dang good. Just the tiniest bit right here, which is always the hardest spot for me to get smooth. Whether it be with a straight razor or with a DE blade. I just drop my brush into the bowl so the handle's covered in soap now. So I try to I don't know if you can see that, but I'm kind of doing this motion. To try to bring the razor across the grain as best I can. And with each one of those passes, it does get it a little smoother. I can see the stubble in the lather when I wipe it off, so I know it's taking it down. It's just, this is a difficult area. I do have a few little weepers opened up here, you know, and that's just how it goes sometimes. That's pretty good. I'm going to call that good on the neck. I need to do one quick against the grain pass on the cheeks. And then this shave will be finished. That's smooth. Need to kind of actually go this direction with it. All right, that's that. I know, nothing exciting, but you know, I enjoy sharing my shaves with whoever decides to watch them anyways. So if you stuck with me through that whole shave, thank you. And you know, maybe you learned something. It's a good shave, smooth. I don't know if you can see it on camera how smooth it is, but that's an excellent shave. There's the lather and the stubble, you can see it. So that's that, and you know, I'll do post shave off camera, so because I'm going to do my head and then I'll just do all my post shave at once. But you know, thank you for joining me. You know, if you have any questions or comments, criticisms, suggestions, or if you learned something, you know, leave me a comment in the comment section and I will try and respond. You know, until next time, be well, be blessed, and remember to be kind to one another. Peace.